I can't even remember how to start my videos. Andy from IndieAndy.
Hi guys.
Today we're going to be talking about what it's like to be an autistic creator. So I thought I'd just do it with another person, so it's not just me ranting at a camera. And Andy and I often have discussions about things we find difficult, so it makes sense for us to film it together.
So often, it's crazy.
Let's just put it out there before we sound like some moaning insert swear word. We both love making YouTube videos and we love everything that comes with it. It's just being autistic can often present itself with some challenges that can make it all a bit more difficult. First thing for me, it makes meeting people in real life a lot easier.
Well, seeing them through videos and getting to know them.
Before we were talking, we got quite a good pretense of each other from our videos alone, and then we started talking. You watched me before I watched you, didn't you?
Yeah, I remember it actually. I think it was on Twitter, and I saw this video called "I Am Autism," and so I clicked on it, and I was like, "Do you know what? This is actually really good." And then, I don't know. I just started watching your videos, and then here we are today.
I knew you as a viewer, and then Katie, Invisible Eye Katie then recommended Andy to me. I started watching his videos, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's alright." More than alright.
When it comes to being an autistic creator generally, there's a kind of not a sense of duty, I'd say, but like
empathy.
Like an empathy towards mainly other people in other situations, towards other creators and like just generally fans and viewers. Yeah.
Like that's the thing, of course. When you open it up to the entire internet, you get people from all walks of life, and you have to be empathetic towards that, which is something that in my earlier life, rubbish up, but being a creator I've had to develop, and I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
You have to be understanding that not everyone's going to be the same, and some people may be more challenging to deal with than others.
Yeah, I think also, especially with the types of content that we do,
we do it very sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah, because people will share their stories with us as creators, and it's kind of our responsibility to be sensitive to their stories and their experiences, even if we don't necessarily have that same experience.
Yes. Ultimately, what we both do, there's always that base of wanting to help people.
Yeah.
So if we're putting it out there, we want to help people. We're not allowed to be like, dickheads about it. There's no other way to say that, really, was there?
No.
Personally, for me, I've had to develop a lot of social skills from it, just because, we both started communicating with brands. Like, you work with a few people, we both work a lot with the National Autistic Society, and getting used to that kind of relationship, because it's a completely different one, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I work in an office job, but when it comes to talking to other professionals, particularly in charities and things like that, it's a very weird thing. You kind of just figure your own path.
You do, yeah. That's the thing. It can initially seem quite scary going into all this, like when you start having to communicate with these strangers that are like big organisations, big charities, big names sometimes. YouTube definitely pushes you to develop those skills, but that's good because it kind of leaks over into real life skills, I find. I feel I'm definitely a lot more confident because of YouTube.
I'd say so as well, because I didn't have much confidence when I started YouTube, but then all of a sudden this person came out of me that I've always wanted to be, but I never had the confidence to be that person, but I'm actually able to communicate pretty well. This
one's going to get a bit hashtag deep, but kind of leading on from what you've just said there, but it's kind of escapism, isn't it? Because although you're you on camera, you're the you want to be. You're a more perfected version of yourself.
Yeah.
You're that confident person that doesn't tend to worry about things. Yes, fair enough, open up occasionally about, well, I'm quite prone to, aren't I, going, I've had enough of life, I don't like it. That's something that's really kind of useful, especially when you're autistic. You just need to get out of this mental world.
Yeah.
And to be able to escape online, great sense of escapism.
Yeah, it is, especially when it comes to actually creating videos, because you can either put your own experiences into a video or make something comical. Obviously, I'll talk about autism, Connor talks about autism. That's fine, because in a way we're letting go of our thoughts and our feelings on camera.
That leads me on to another good thing, actually.
Okay.
Do you find it easier to speak to a camera than you do to a person? I think I do.
think I do, because kind of the way I see it is you're talking into a camera and I don't know, I have this thing where I get annoyed when I feel like I'm being interrupted, but with a camera I can just talk into it and there's no kind of talking back at me. It's great.
Yeah. See, I'm useless with the social skills. I can't tell when people have ended sentences. You've probably noticed that at times.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, like we'll talk. We'll talk on the phone.
It's even worse on the phone.
Me and Connor will talk on the phone, just talk about things, and I'll try to get a word in edgeways, but it just doesn't happen.
The problem I have is if I have a thought, that's where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't have the stop and think just straight out of me, which is quite good when filming. That's why I'm so efficient when filming, because I'm like duh, 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 duh. One, I've just seen an aeroplane because we're right next to the Birmingham airport.
I didn't get to see it, guys.
If you're going to be an autistic creator, be prepared to have your condition challenged constantly.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh god. Oh yeah. Oh. The way the internet is, there's just this whole perception that people just don't understand autism and how diverse it is. So you'll get people on the internet saying, "Oh, you're not autistic. My brother's cousin's mother's autistic, and you're nothing like them." I think YouTube develops your sense of self as well as giving you a thicker skin. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but like there'll be one or two comments that are really hurtful, and like initially I would get quite upset about it, but now if I see a hate comment, I'm just like, someone doesn't like the videos. It doesn't matter. It's one person. Specifically
when we're getting challenged about our condition, they're kind of just being hypocritical in a way, because that's why we're making the videos, to educate, so people stop having that mindset. Yet those are the people that leave the comments, and you're like, oh. Right, okay.
I think definitely in terms of the awareness that we try to show in our videos.
We're kind of like the first generation of autistic creators as kind of like a whole thing. We just missed another plane.
Oh, for God's sake.
For us to be the first wave, we're kind of figuring out the rules, in a way, because, like, yes, fair enough, YouTube's been going around for ages, and there are certain, actually blurs between, if autism makes a difference, because autism can intensify things. But we're specifically having to deal with medical jargon and stuff like that, and we're not particularly qualified. We're getting the most of the rubbish, not what I was going to say. So it's interesting for us to find out what's going to work and what's not going to work. And hopefully by the time by the time more people are making videos, the more time goes on, the more people are accepting of autism. Therefore, it should be easier to do this. We're currently fighting for representation at events such as Summon City and places like that. We want to get that representation out there, because the autism online community is definitely growing, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Like on Twitter, just kind of the support for young adults with autism, and it is slowly starting to turn, but it's
going to take a while.
It's going to take a while, and it's all about.
And we'll be sitting on those panels at the events, maybe one day. That would be nice. The mainstream YouTube culture is definitely more embracing now of the autism subculture. Just to end it on, what one piece of advice would you give to anyone autistic that wants to start YouTube?
I think if you're autistic and wanting to be a creator on YouTube, definitely one of the things I would suggest, and I wish I'd actually did this in the beginning, if you have a special interest, feel like that'd be good content for making videos, go ahead and do it.
Generally, if you're autistic, you tend to be the master in your field of your special interests.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
So I'd say that's actually quite a good advantage. Just going to plug my new channel. I've got a channel called Connerd, where I don't know if I've made videos on it yet at this point, but I'll be geeking out about all my favourite things.
What advice would you give?
It will be scary. It's a whole new world. Da, 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 da. The thing about the internet is it's quite scary, therefore it can be very intimidating, especially to someone on the autistic spectrum. It's a lot of new situations, but you only have to put in what you want to put in. You can only do what you're comfortable with. If you're finding it all a bit much, take a step back, take a rest. But if you want to get obsessive about it and really get into it, go for it.
Do as much as you physically and mentally feel like you're able to do.
I think that's probably about it. That's all we've got to say.
Yeah.
There'll be another video on Andy's channel where we're going to talk about it from the opposite side. So yes, we are creators, but we're also viewers of YouTubes.
Of course.
Of YouTubes. In the comments below, if you're a creator, let me know your struggles. Please also make sure to subscribe to Andy while you're over watching his video, because he's Andy. You've got to.
Thank you.
Shall I plug myself for once and be like, remember to like and subscribe to this video? I never do that. Thank you for coming on my channel.
Thank you
for having me in your hotel room. We're in the Hilton, it's all posh.
I know, it's...
Plane. Have you seriously just missed that?
The third time. What's the third time I missed the plane?
Right, thank you very much for watching. Bye.
Bye.